Welcome to Women's Voices in Sustainability, the podcast that shines spotlight on remarkable women who are making a positive impact in our world through their work in sustainability. Through their inspiring stories, we aim to ignite the passion of the next generation of conscious people, while also committed professionals to address the global problems. In today's episode, we will invite Zandra Martinez, but before that, I would like to introduce my colleagues, Glenda Lee. Glenda is from Guatemala and also a leader, inspiring woman in forestry. So welcome, Zandra, and thank you very much for joining us. And before to start, we would like to know, where are you and which are your main activities, professional activities, and your main activities today?
Thank you, Marines. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you, Glenda. Nice to see you. Well, now I'm based, I don't know for how long, because my life has always been moving to one place and to another. So I'm in this moment based in Germany. I'm Mexican. I'm from the southern of Mexico. I'm from Oaxaca. And after some years working in Guatemala, I'm back to Germany. So I'm greeting you from my garden. Hopefully you will not hear so much noise. But yes, I'm very happy to be here and really happy to have a nice conversation with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. It's so nice to see you. It was amazing that even though you were living here in Guatemala, we only met once. Really, time flies really fast. But okay, I would like to ask you, what encouraged you to pursue a profession in sustainability, and what led you to become a social and environmental advocate? Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you, Glenda. I think my profession has always been too linked to my origin. I'm from a community in Oaxaca, and my grandmother has played a big role in my development as a human, together with my mother. Sorry. So I've been surrounded by women, and I have 4 women as sisters. And so I grew up together with a lot of women around, surrounded me. So initially, it's not only about sustainability. I think sustainability is also about equity and fairness. So when I was working and when I was deciding which career will I choose, it always came to my mind that it has to be always something connected with my roots, with the view of how life was taught by my grandmother and my environment, and also what I can change based also in my background. So I always was linked to these 2 situations. So when I decided, my first career is as a communications and journalist professional, and then after that I made a master's degree in human rights and governance. So these 2 have been together with me, and basically the idea behind this is how I can contribute to the situation of women based on my experience in Oaxaca, in Mexico, but also later as a professional, still facing some challenges because being a woman, then how I can contribute to that. What is my role in this process to help my generations that come behind me, how to have a better situation in general, not only in the working, but in general, how they can improve their lives because they are women. So these are, in short, the main reasons why I decided to come into that. And basically, the issue of social is very linked also to the challenges women are facing always, not only in the forestry sector where we work, but also, as I said, as a professional, how these processes and which kind of structures need to change in order to make sure that we are moving forward and that we are really working to have a more equitable world for everybody.
Sandra, we haven't said this, but today you have a very important role. You are the chairperson of the International Board of Directors of Forest Stewardship Council, FSC. So you are in a in a position of power, and you are in a position where all women will like to be, the place where the important decisions are made. So can you tell us which are the skills you have need to develop that allow you to be part in this be part of the board and also the chairperson? So which are the skills women need, on how is the situation or the challenges of being in a position like this?
Marines, this is quite interesting question because I think in order to give a concrete answer, we need to be able to understand what is the governance of the FSC International Board of Directors. And we are playing an important role because this body of making decision is not a body who is led by one person, because every member inside of the board of directors has the same power and has the same legitimacy given by the selection process and by the chambers. So when we understand how is this balance inside of the body of the second highest decision making body in the organization, then the need of having specific skills about how do I build consensus, it is very important. And I think this has been one of my strengths. I think I'm a person that has a sensitiveness to understand this balance of power inside of the organization. So based on that, I have been privileged to be selected to go with this group of board members and to build a lot of and to make a lot of decisions based on consensus based. And that is something that has been quite important for me in my role. So I do have these skills of listening, but also at the same time I'm able to build and to meet some of the ideas, the needs of the different chambers, and this is quite important in this process.
Excellent, Zandra.
Sí.
Thank you. So, how can women working in sustainability negotiate and overcome the challenges or biases that they may face in male-dominated business or sector, Zandra?
I think we are on a generation. I'm 50 years old, and I think we are still. We have been very privileged because women in front of us have been able to open some paths for us to be in these positions. So that is something that is important. However, we are still facing challenges to help the others, especially men, to understand that there is a diverse way of doing things. And this is a challenge because sometimes, especially coming from the South, you also face some ideas on how do you have to behave. If you have this position, you need to behave in this situation because this is the way how we do things in this organization or in this space. So in order for us to move, it requires a lot of dialogue and a lot of empathy for them not to know how to deal with differences, and also requires a lot of strength, because it means that we have to face a lot of, we have to deal a lot with energy that is around pressure, putting pressure on people to say you have to do it in this way. And then also a lot of energy because you, or I in my case, believe there are other ways of achieving success. And that is why it requires more time, and because the type of leadership that I strongly believe on that, and that is the reason why I'm in FSC, is this horizontal leadership. So each of us needs to take the responsibility on this. So men, in many cases, in many spheres, they are not used to this. They are waiting for someone to tell them what to do instead of building together. So that is a big pressure, because they are expecting a way of doing things, and for them it's very difficult to change their mind and to say, wait, what is she or trying to tell me now? And that's a challenge in terms of leadership. It is quite it has been always, and I think I don't know how the other colleagues are doing, but my experience also talking with other chairpersons from other organizations and another net of people being in board of directors, I think this is one of the most challenging situations, where they expect you to behave in one way, which is this only way, directional, straightforward, but then at the end, no. If we would go into that direction, then it wouldn't be something that is building together, co-creation, which is also kind of a core essence of the organization.
Sandra, that's very interesting, because you have mentioned that dialogue, consensus, and these are very complex skills. Maybe we need some be trained to how to create consensus, how to dialogue, to listen. These are very important skills you have mentioned, but also when you said the female mindset is different, because we tend to be more horizontal, but also we speak maybe in circles, which is men don't understand. But do you think that all the women are the same, or you face also that women with male mindset? Is it true that all women lead in the same way, or you have to find your own way of leadership, and you have to try to also I don't want to say impose, but try to let your way accepted by the other board members? I don't know if it's clear.
I wouldn't also limit this to the board members sphere. I think this has to do in general. I'm talking more in general about this. I think the challenge is what is the level of recognition the different styles of leadership are getting, and that is the problem. Because I think in some specific cases, being as very straightforward and going to the point, very linear way of identifying success is very important for the specific cases. But then you would need to also to identify in which moments do we need other kind of leadership, or also validating the values of other leadership styles. And this is, I think, the challenge. How do we accept this kind of things, and how do recognize that this is also valid and important for specific purposes? And I think this is one of the main fights we have with being women and being and wanted to be recognized. It doesn't mean that I want you to disappear, and it doesn't mean that the other way of leading is wrong. It's just that for specific moments, for specific times, for specific eras, and because each person is different and has different needs, there is the need to acknowledge that we need another type of leadership, and a leadership which is more inclusive, a leadership which is more based on values, shared values, and a leadership which is also more based on diversity, and it's also about balance of power. So when in traditional leadership, you always will have someone who is, doesn't matter if it's man or woman, at the center making decisions, and instead of using other skills that would allow the flow of the different abilities to flowing better or to give more, and that is why there is a lot of frustration sometimes in specific working spaces, because people don't feel they are valued, and maybe they don't want to be at the top of making decisions. They just want to be part of the process and to be acknowledged and recognized as a part of the process. So that is I think this is the challenge.
Very, very deep answer. Thank you, Zandra.
Yeah, I like that before you mentioned about empathy. We now live in this world like the time is flying, everyone is doing a lot of things, and before the pandemic, everything changes. So empathy is something that I really like that you mentioned, because it's needed. So, well, the next question, Zandra. Now you are the chairperson of FSC. Why should members vote for you for this next period, and what concrete contributions will you make to the organization?
This is a quite important question. Thank you, Glenda, for this question. I think I've been serving, and I want to emphasize this word serving to this organization for several years, not only as a board member or as a member. I've been involved in the organization for more than 20 years now, and I think I am a professional woman who can really continue with this work of serving the organization. I think I have the qualifications, and I have a good understanding of the governance process inside of this. This is a big advantage, because I think by having a good understanding what is the real role of a board of directors, then it will help us to increase the level of response, the quick response to the membership, but also we need to increase the levels of accountability to the members, to the membership. So I think this is quite important skill also. And as I said before, I think I have a good understanding, also good qualifications with the skills about how to engage and how to balance power, how to work with an organization, which is about power balance. And I think also I've been, as a chairperson, 1.5 years. I've been together with my other colleagues in the board of directors. I've been leading this organization in a very challenging times. I don't remember that this organization has faced so many changes and challenges outside because the work conditions, but also internally. And I think we are succeeding. And again, it's not because there is one person. And I think I've been able to articulate together with my colleagues inside of the board of directors a good solutions to strengthen the internal governance of the board of directors, to give working together with the secretariat to give clarity about where do we want to go, how can we achieve the strategy, and then also together and listening and being more and more accountable to the members. So I think for me, these are good reasons why I think we can. I would like to ask for the support to the members to support again my candidacy, but also because we are facing big challenges, and I think the organization is with a very good group of board members that I think we have the vision to continue to grow the value of the brand and to serve certificate holders. I think it is also a commitment to continue to increase the impact for communities and smallholders and indigenous peoples and workers. I think there is also a strong commitment with the environmental chamber about how do we create solutions together for the challenges that climate change is bringing to everybody. So I think we are together. I think I'm well aligned, well informed, and I think everybody who is going to be in the next board of directors, in the board of directors for next year, I think some of us, we can still continue to bring some benefit to the organization.
Sandra, that's amazing. and you mentioned so many things, no? Global challenges, need of governance, and so many, I don't know, we're living in critical moments in our planet, and there is such a big responsibility. And of course, this was a very strong message for all the FSC members. But I would like to know from you, for all the listeners we have now with us, how is your journey from being a member of FSC to be in the board? What did you do? How can women, with the talented women like you, could be in such a position? Is it possible for all of us? And how was your experience? Well, maybe one day you said, I would like to be in the board, and between that decision and be the chairperson, there is a long way. And I imagine also a wonderful experience. I would like you, if you can share with us a little bit about that journey, and also how the different professional experiences you have before prepare you to be in this position today, so we can all learn from you.
Thank you, Marines. I think, as I said, I have more than 20 years of experience being a professional. So that means that I have been able to work at the very bottom level, and then I have been able to experience and to excel many of my skills, communications skills, a good relationship with people, able to understand their concerns, able to bring those concerns and to transfer those concerns into solutions, into ideas, into ways of improving and working. So it has been a long path where I've been able to improve. And I need to say something which I think is quite important. I also took some space for developing or to focus more on my family, So that is another challenge that women face. So we are always put in a dilemma. Choose your career, choose your sons or your family. What do you want to do? And then you cannot do anything else. So I think it is very challenging. And then let me put another challenge here. I'm an immigrant. So this is quite a challenge that requires a lot of support by people around you, people who believe that you are doing the right thing, that you have the skills, that you have the professionalism, and then they trust, and then you build based on that. So I think it has been difficult in some moments because we have to adapt with languages. We are speaking now English, and then many other challenges on this. So this is something that it doesn't only belongs to me, Sandra. I think it is a situation by many women here. I think by participating in several working groups of FSC, by following the experiences from other organizations, by participating and working in other organizations has always been an opportunity for me to learn. And then I think at the moment when I decided I wanted to be part of this organization because I wanted to have the opportunity to create some changes that we as members were seeing that were needed, I started working again by listening and collaborating and co-creating with the membership. So I think this has been a path. It hasn't been difficult, but when I think about, I would like my daughter or the generation behind me to be in a position where they don't need to to use so much energy to say, this is my voice, and please now I don't need to repeat 3 times what you seem not to understand, because my voice is softer, or I'm not screaming on the table. And I think this is I think one of the biggest challenges, and it's a commitment for the generations coming, and maybe not only those who are identified as a woman, but in general. So, and I think this is something that I can share with you very shortly about how this path has been, and I think it has been a privilege. I feel very, very thankful for this opportunity, but it has been a lot. It has. I have been working hard to really make sure that the decisions are sound, that people are involved, that people feel that we are a body who can really make decisions faster, that we can be more effective, and that we can provide clarity to the secretary.
Thank you, Sandra. I think we lose like a second, a couple of seconds from your answer, and also your journey, and it is a long way, a long path, and we understand also that there are many obstacles we have to face, but be active, participating all the time. I think it's like a never give up is what I get from you, And before to go with Glenda, I need to put that question to Sandra. How is your relation with power?
My relation with power.
Tricky one.
Yeah, that's. I believe in power. We all have power, and that is what this is what makes things so beautiful. As long as everybody in any situation recognize that we do have a power, and nobody can play with us, even if we seem or we can give the impression that we don't have a power. As long as it's recognized by everybody at any place, in any situation, then we are okay. And I think this is recognizing the power of everybody is definitely a key element to really ensure that we have peaceful and fruitful conversations where we respect each other, where we can really we don't need to agree on things, we may never agree on something, but as long as there is the recognition that there is the same level of power, that we are equals, then we can really maybe try to find other ways of dealing with difficult situations.
Love it, Sandra. I love this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sandra. It was a really nice chat. I think it is always nice to talk to you. We learn a lot. So once again, we sincerely appreciate this opportunity to learn more about you, Sandra, and we wish you every success in achieving your goals, including securing a place in FSC International Directory. So we invite you to keep listening to these Women Voices in Sustainability so you can learn more about wonderful women like Sandra.
Thank you very much, Sandra. It was a pleasure and an honor to talk to you today.
Thank you, Marines. Thank you, Glenda.